What is happening, good people? And thank you for tuning in to yet another series, another interview with the Young Democrats of Georgia Black Caucus. I'm your host and your chair, Devontae Jennings, and today we have a, I can't wait for you to see this interview right here. And before I even come out and introduce who we have right here, I need you to know we about to shock the world with this one right here. We're going to shock the world with this one. So without further ado, I need a warm introduction as we bring in soon to be Councilman Micheal Carpenter.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you.
What's up, brother, man?
Hey, what's going on, Devontae? Everything good?
Yes, sir. How about you?
Hey, man. I'm cold, but I'm alive. That's all that matters, man. That's all that
Wait,
matters.
what? You down there in Savannah? Why you cold?
I see. Normally I'm in Savannah, but currently I'm in Syracuse, New York, under a fellowship.
Word. What's the fellowship for?
The fellowship is for international affairs and public relations. Out of 25 people in the whole nation, I was voted one of those 25 people to attend this fellowship.
So we just knocking down votes like that. Okay. So he said a little prelim before before November 7th. Okay. Well, we're gonna jump into that. We're gonna jump into that.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay, man. Before we get too deep into the interview, if you don't mind, of course, I know who you are. Everybody in the Young Democrats of Georgia Black Caucus knows who you are. But please give us an introduction and maybe a little background about yourself.
Yeah, of course. So again, my name is Micheal Carpenter. If you see most people call me Chief because I was the Chief Warrant Officer in the military before I retired. I know, good genes. It's good genes. Um, but I'm married. I have 3 daughters. I live in Pooler, Georgia, and if you don't know where that's at, that's right out next door to Savannah, Georgia. Um, and I'm currently retired in Pooler and running for city council.
Wow. Now that is authentically one thing I really did not know. So you served in the military.
I did. I was a Chief Warrant Officer in the Army.
What? I'm a besides Councilman Carpenter, I'm gonna call you Chief. I
Hey,
ain't even.
yeah,
I like that. I like that. Okay.
I
So
appreciate that.
what to go ahead and just jump straight into it. I know it wasn't an overnight decision. So when did you decide and what made you decide that you were ready to run for office or wanted to run for office?
To keep it simple, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, as they say.
Yeah.
My I have 3 daughters, man. My 3 daughters was the reason that I wanted to run. Um, if I'm gonna be somewhere and be the best possible human being that I can be, and give back to my community that I retired in, and want to raise my daughters in, I'm gonna be active. And active as the most possible way I can be is at the local level. So my children was the reason that I decided to run.
I can respect that. So in a way, not even in a way, it's to shape a better future for your daughters.
For my daughters in the community, my motto in life is service before self, and service before self means taking care of my community, and the best way I can take care of my community is by starting at the local level.
Okay. So we touched on the military aspect of things, but could you give us just a little brief outline of your experience and your qualifications that make you the candidate to run for this position?
Of course, man. My previous involvement in municipality and local policy is derived from basically my military background. Um, from when I was overseas assisting local governments and host nations is what they call them,
Mhm.
with conflict engagements. And then when I was in Georgia the second time, I was part of the Red Cross and I was a disaster action team lead. And when I was on a disaster action team lead, basically those are the ones when disasters happen, whether natural or man-made. We were there, and so I had got to work with a lot of governments to um, c- conflicting issues with
Mhm.
individuals or
Mhm.
the individuals. So it involves a lot of government work and working with a lot of policymakers. And that was one of our responsibilities and problem solving capabilities. So, in culminating all that with my military background, it made me the perfect man for the job. Just it went together. It culminated together perfectly.
So service was in you before you even decided really to make
Years,
it a
10, over
Mm.
a decade before I even decided to run. Um, it led. I did not know at the time, but it led up to this, and wherever I may go in the future.
Okay. So how do you plan on tackling some key issues in your area? And I've, taken a visit to Pooler before, but I'm not too familiar with, of course, what the community sees. So what are some things that you're coming to the table with for Pooler?
So if you well, you got to be around in the city a lot more often, man. One is cool, so you got to come often. Um,
I got you.
one of the biggest issues. So it's two parts, right? It's
Mhm.
infrastructure. So we have an infrastructure issue. Um, I can't fix infrastructure overnight, but it is an issue that needs to be addressed. And most people say it's not my priority because it takes a long time. But it is your priority.
Mhm.
Traffic is an issue. Um, the expanding growth in Pooler is tend to be over 50,000 in just a few years. So we're going to be just as big as Savannah, but we're not made yet to be that big. So infrastructure, but one of the biggest things that I hold near and dear to my heart, it is community, man,
Mhm.
and community, and not just for my children, but generations to come. It needs to be more family oriented activities, education opportunities for young and older adults. So, tapping into community and infrastructure are high on my list of things that I want to see become better in Polar, and I have what it takes: the drive, the tenacity, the relentlessness of just
Mhm.
going after who I need to talk to get the job done. Um, I,
You
I'm
saw his face. You
I'm
saw his face. He was playing no games when
I'm
he said that.
I really am. I do like to play around, but I also get serious when it's time to get serious.
Mhm.
So, and I'm the right person for that to get it done.
I respect that. I respect that. And I also wanted to throw in as a sidebar, I respect the fact of you know, I could tell service is in your heart, and not only just learning about the background that you just gave us, but even when it came to your involvement with um the Young Democrats of Georgia Black Caucus, you know what I mean? It was just with like, most people come into certain situations like, yo, how do I become the man? You just came from a point of like, hey,
I
I'm here.
I always take everything with a sense of how can I help. It doesn't matter
Mhm.
the and this is just all spectrum. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, no matter what. If it's the youth, people who are younger than me, not to say I'm old, but people who are younger than me, I want to help as much as possible because I want to give back what I didn't get, if that makes sense.
Mm. So let's touch on that part real quick a little bit. What are some examples of some things that you want to give back that you feel like you or that you didn't get?
Oh man, ooh, that's a good question. You got me on that one. The number one thing is education, and not just education from what you get at school,
Mhm.
education that life is going to throw at you. If you don't know, you don't know. Education in a job trade. Me and my wife, you probably don't know this either. Me and my wife created a nonprofit foundation called the Takeaway Foundation, and our sole purposes in life, among other things, is to teach adults the skills that they need to live, whether that is a trade, whether that is financial literacy, all the things that people are not getting in school, but they have to learn the hard way in life. We want to give that back and educate them on.
Mm.
It
Boy,
takes
you do.
it takes a village. Ain't that what they say back in the day? It takes a village.
It does, and you actually just knocked two of my questions that I was going to ask you off the list like that. So they That's a great answer. So let me just jump down here for a little bit for you. Um, how do you plan to ensure transparency and accountability in city government?
How do I plan to transparency and accountability? Honestly, the best way to hold people accountable and is transparency, and seeing what went wrong and what went right, and having that. In the military, there's something called the open door policy. In
Mhm.
that open door policy, nothing is hidden. People are allowed to come and talk to you whenever they want. I mean, given the right hours, but
Yeah.
also that information flows back and forth. So holding people accountable is very imperative, because a lot sometimes things get swept under the rug. So I'm gonna hold people accountable into their word,
Mhm.
whether that by using all platforms. We're in the age of data and analytics and social media, and that's something that I'm gonna use to our advantage, for the city's advantage, and the residents, the constituents, whatever you want to call them, the people. Um,
Mhm.
can see what's going on at all times.
I love that. I love that. Okay. W- And this is an interesting question I want to ask you specifically with the military background. So I'm actually very interested and curious to see what your stance is on this. Um, what measures will you take to address issues related to public safety and community policing?
Oh man, so community policing, um, is is very important. Um, Back in the day, like I said, I'm not that old, but back in the day, we had community policing. Not community policing was, if you mess up, the lady next door gonna get you. Uh,
Hmm.
Auntie, are you?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the whole house gonna get to you before your mama get to you. So essentially, with that being said, it comes from listening to the people to find out what the issues are, and it comes from those constituents that are, who need to see that, what neighborhoods need that the most. So my stance on it is, it is very much needed, but I won't know, because I'm only in one pocket
Hmm.
of Pooler. But if I gather the community, which everything, you notice when you ask me questions, everything goes back to the community. If I get community input, then we can set those guidelines and principles, and set those advisory boards or subcommittees, so we can fix these issues. Community input.
I love that. Love that. Okay.
Say this: wrong is wrong and right is right. There is no in between.
Hmm. And since you speak about community, and to touch back on one of your answers you gave back about infrastructure, this one actually I feel like is going to be right up your alley here when we talk about economic growth within the city. So, how do you plan to support local business and foster economic growth within the city?
Mm. So that's something that, um, is kind of close to me, because nothing against big businesses, but when it comes to small businesses, they don't always get the resources that they need.
Hmm.
So a way, I can't go into full detail, because these are, I don't want nobody to steal my ideas, but um,
Oh, trust me, please don't do that. Answer how you can.
but seriously, it goes back to that community work. So the best way to foster the community is by hearing the people and the small
Mhm.
business owners in the community. And I think the best way to do that is by setting up liaisons, i.e., subcommittees or advisory boards that can go out, speak to the small business owners, or find out what's going on, seeing what the city is needed, and then that advisory board comes back to the council and advises us. They can't tell us what to do, but they can advise us on ways that we can help small business owners and foster that environment that is needed in our community.
Oh, mm. And just so me and anybody listening has a better understanding, what are the demographics of Pooler? I've of course been to Pooler a few times, but I couldn't really grasp what the demographic is. So what are the demographics of Pooler?
We're at a point. I don't know if you know, but they're building the meta plant here, which is Hyundai is building a meta plant. It's like it's a city of its own. So we are a melting pot that is growing and growing and growing. We're gonna have Koreans, we're gonna have blacks. I mean, we're gonna have whites. We're gonna have all ethnicities and diversities here. Um, so it's just in the process of being a melting pot. So to answer that, it's kind of hard to answer directly. I can give you
Mhm.
numbers, but anybody can give you that. I'm just letting you know on the ground, a person that is boots on ground, literally every day knocking on the door. We are a melting pot that wants to be heard.
Mhm. And the which I don't know why I never made that connection of the military because you're down there. You're probably how far away from Fort Stewart are you?
About 40 minutes.
Yeah. So my grandfather was in the military, and that's actually how my grandparents and my mother grew up in down there in Hinesville. So I know exactly what you mean as far as the melting pot aspect of that area. So that makes a lot of sense. So with that, you have no issue at all with serving all people because even throughout this interview, you haven't specified you know, these type of people. You always keep going back to community.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's touch on that a little bit.
yeah. I wasn't raised blindfolded or to
Mhm.
focus on one thing. Um, Love is love. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. uh, all that good stuff, man. So I hold, and then the military also instilled in me too, because being overseas a bunch of times and all that, to foster all backgrounds and
Mhm.
everybody be treated fair and equal.
Dope, dope. And serving your country, you can't be like, "Well, I'm gonna serve these group of people. I ain't
Right,
gonna serve these group of
right.
people." They're
Nah,
like,
don't work like that. When Uncle Sam say, "Hey, you go do this, you gonna go do that," no matter if they Asian, black, it don't matter. It don't matter.
"Wait, so you mean to tell me you don't have time to be like, okay, so, sir, is this gonna benefit mostly
Let,
black people or white people
nah,
or Asian?"
let me tell you, when it comes to the community, um,
Mhm.
I did learn this in the military. Um, I have to trust the people on my left. Hold on, what's what? I have to trust the people on my left, and I have to trust the people on my right. And if I don't trust my left or my right, then I can't trust anybody. So I have to be fair and impartial to everyone I meet, man. Everyone I meet, no matter what your background. You can dislike me and hate me. That don't matter. That don't matter. I'm still going to be genuine to you, just like I'm gonna be genuine to the same person who loves me.
Mhm.
Genuine is genuine.
I love that. I wish I was in Pooler because you would definitely get my vote
Hey,
off the strength. One, because you're a cool dude, off rip.
hey,
You know what I mean? You just chill, you easy going. But then two, your answers are they're coming from a good place, and you can tell they're coming from a good place. So to switch a gear here back to like some community issues, since we're here for all people, what is your stance on affordable housing and addressing homelessness in your city? And again, I'm not from your city, so I don't know the homeless. Like, if you have a homeless issue, like we kind of have a bad homeless issue here in Atlanta. But what is your stance on affordable housing and addressing homelessness in your city?
all right, first things first, real quick. I don't think you seeing this chair. It has a mind of its own, so it keep dropping me. So I keep feeling crazy. Like nobody sees this chair keep dropping, and I gotta secretly push it back up.
Just
But all right, all serious. All seriousness, we really don't have a homelessness issue here.
Mhm,
Um, and I firmly believe that every member of our community deserves access to safe and affordable housing. Um, we might not have a homeless situation right now, but the way we're moving, and those powers to be, they're also not making it the most affordable place to live right now. So that's why I say it drives back to the community, and everyone deserves to be safe and have affordable housing. I will be the biggest advocate for policies that encourage development of affordable housing units and working closely with local builders and developers to make this a reality. Because I'm not stuck in my ways of I only want this group of people here. I only want that group of people here. No, I want all people in a place where all people can come. The Lord don't do that. God don't do that. He
Uh,
wants all people in his kingdom.
yes, sir.
All people in our kingdom. You can't
I
just
love it. I love it. I I'm here for it. My bad. I mean, I felt the.
yeah, man.
I can definitely tell what type of leader you are and about to be for the city of Pooler. You have a. It's very strong, and I appreciate that, and I respect that. I want to go back because I told you we was gonna touch on this New York situation.
What about
So with the things that you're learning up there, I don't know, what kind of the curriculum or if they got y'all like how they have it set up for you down there. If you could touch on that part of like how it is for you, what are y'all learning? How do you plan to bring that back to the city?
so it's dealing with public relations, meaning the public and people. Sorry, I feel
Mhm,
like my public relations in dealing with citizens and the affairs of the citizens. Granted, this is on a larger level, but I'm learning what I need to know in order to bring back to the citizens of Pooler, um, to help them better because they don't know what they don't know, if that makes sense. Um,
mhm,
so the things that I'm learning under this fellowship, the things with the citizenship in the public affairs, um, it's going to be great because I'm going to be able to bring back things that they didn't even know they had access to. Our
mhm,
law, our policies, our regulations are just things even the local leaders in the local politicians did not know because they didn't have access to these resources that I do now have and in the process of learning. Um, so again, I'm bringing that that community welfare back to my community.
I love it. I love it. I love it, man. Okay, so I'm gonna throw something at you. This is like very fun though. This isn't dealing with any policy or anything. I actually stole this from Brene Brown. Shout out to Brene Brown. I don't know if y'all listen to Brene Brown out there, but I'm gonna hit you with a 5 and 5. So I'm gonna hit you with 5 questions in 5 seconds, but they're gonna be all lighthearted and fun. Like not even stuff that you got to think about too
All
hard.
right, so I'm gonna just say something random then.
All right, so are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
In 3, 2, 1. Favorite musical artist,
Usher,
favorite sports team,
Carolina Panthers,
favorite activity,
helping people,
favorite family activity,
just sitting on the couch watching a movie with my girls.
dream car.
Ooh, brand new Corvette.
Okay. Okay. Yo, you stole me on that Carolina Panthers board because I'm a Carolina Rotter, man. I don't care if we 0-5, 0-6, whatever. I don't care.
Don't worry
Love my.
about. Don't
Don't
worry about.
worry about that. Hey, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Off the strength, besides all the fantastic interview and all of that, vote my man. That's my dog now. That's my dog. Vote my man. No games being played. So also too, we're gonna go ahead and drop this in here. If you haven't been noticing or paying attention, follow Micheal Carpenter here on Instagram at Carpenter for Pooler. That is CarpenterFOOLER right there on Instagram. Keep up with it. And also, you can donate to future Councilman Carpenter's donation page, https colon slash slash donorbox.org / carpenter dash four dash pooler dash city dash council. Please, we talk about on this channel, and we've had this conversation with other people before. Donations and funding for a campaign is the least that you could do if you're not able to support in any other way. We need to get this brother in office. We need to make this change and make this civic duties for the people of Pooler. So please follow my man on Instagram one more time. And after you follow him on Instagram. Go ahead and hit that donation link too. And before we wrap it up here, man, do you have anything else that's on your mind that you want to spitball right here? You know, you Young Democrats of Georgia Black Caucus platform, man. Go ahead. What you want to spit out there?
First off, I just want to thank God for this opportunity that He's been placing day after day after time with me. I'm not the brightest. I'm not the brightest lamp. I'm not the smartest man in the room. I'm not the nicest person in the world. I'm just out here trying to do good work for my community. Um, and I would be remiss if I didn't shout out to my wife, Maria Carpenter, my amazing communications manager, Jennifer Green, my 3 daughters, my Marcelo, everybody. Like, man, I just wouldn't be here without the help of my family and close friends. And I just want to let everyone know that forget about party affiliations, whether you Republican, Democrat, Independent, hoo-ha, whatever the case may be. Um, I just need these votes so we can make a change. Um, don't look at what party I'm affiliated with. Look at the character of the person that's trying to fulfill this role. And I honestly believe, and I know that I have the experience, the talent, the skills, and the time, because I'm retired, to make this happen. That's all I got right now.
Vote for Carpenter. Vote for Carpenter. And he hit it right there on the time. You know, a lot of your city council people, stuff like that, they got a lot of other obligations they got to keep doing, you know, pay the bills and all that. My man said, hey, I serve the country, I serve the people, I'm retired, and I'm ready to get back to work.
That's right. Service. Remember what I said? My motto is service before self. Service before self.
I love it. And right before we head out, actually, is there any more shout outs that you want to give out? I mean, you got to, I was actually almost forgetting, you got to shout out the team. So you shout out the team. You can double shout out the team, double shout out anybody else that you need to. It's your platform for the next 30 seconds, bro. Give out as many shout outs and love as you need to, my brother.
I wouldn't. Hey, I can't be me without the people who make it possible. I'm just a vessel, trying to do good work, man. So my mom, my parents, I mean, everybody, like my brothers, everybody. I just appreciate all the love, respect, and it's hard, but it's fair. And if it's fair, it ain't hard. We just out here getting it. So let's continue to get it.
Let's go. Michael Carpenter, City Council, Pool of Georgia. Let's get it. Thank you, my brother.
That's right. I got to get back to class, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Hustling out there, my boy. Till next time, brother, man.
All right. Thank you.
Peace.